I saw quite a bit of live music again in 2024. Not quite as much as in 2023, as I was just like going crazy in 2023. So this video won't be as long as that. So bear with me this time. I know that one was like almost an hour long, but that was a lot to go through. So I'll try not to get too in depth this time, but I'm gonna have kind of the same kind of format as I did last year, just going through all the shows I went to. I have all the flyers here that I have in order. I think there's like a few shows I kind of missed or I couldn't find the flyer for, and I'm just gonna like skip over. And I have like over 20 shows here to talk about anyway. So, um, but yeah, I've been on like a little bit of a hiatus, like going to shows. I haven't been going to a lot of shows here at the end of the year, and that'll kind of show in here. I've had like peaks where I've been going to a lot of stuff, and then it kind of like dying off again. I just haven't been that excited about it recently, but there's some coming up in into the next few months that I'm excited to go to again and get back into it. Um, but there's a really good scene where I live, a lot of punk and metal stuff going on that I like to go see a lot. Occasionally some hip hop stuff too, which is kind of cool. Um, but yeah, let's not waste too much more time. I'll throw the flyers here on the side like I did last time, and I've got my computer here, just that has all the in order, so I could like kind of stay on track and stuff, and have to write all of it down and kind of look at the artwork as I'm going through it. But the first show I have here, I went to in January, about mid January. I feel like there was probably a show before this that I went to, but I just can't remember. Um, but this is probably one of the first ones of the year I went to. You can see the headlining band was Horrendous. It's this death metal band, kind of an interesting kind of death metal band. Can't really think of how to explain them. They're just different than others, and I've never really gotten too into their music. I actually kind of want to dig back into their stuff again and listen to them again. Um, and But I didn't actually watch them that night. I'm very infamous for leaving shows early. So I just kind of watched like the first few bands. Like we've got the band Rotwall here and Restrictor Plate, and there's another like some out of town bands that were there, and it was pretty fun to go see that. And I went with my friend Reese, and that was it was a good time. We had a pretty good time just hanging out with each other at that show, and the music was pretty good. Restrictor Plate is wild, and they go crazy quite often. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on from that one. The next one I have here was actually a pretty big deal here in Richmond when this one happened. There's a band, obviously the top band is called Hard Stripes, and they hadn't done a show since 2017, I think, and they were just kind of just like this big kind of like punk band, this hardcore band from Richmond. One of the members of Antichrist Seas Machine, if you know them, is in this band, the hardcore band, and they were just kind of like around in like the early 2010s and such with the hardcore scene, and it was just a big deal for them to come back and be doing a show. And we had some other pretty good bands on here. We had a lot of other local bands, and then this band Gag that came from out of town. And it was a really good atmosphere there. I just people going crazy and stuff. But it was good. It was a good show, and had a good time. Met there with some of my friends there that night. This next show, I remember going to this alone, and this was the next weekend after that show, or like 2 weekends after that last show. At the warehouse again. The warehouse is kind of like the headquarters here for just like hardcore, like some like weird electronic music and stuff that goes on there as well. But this we have Rotwell again. I saw Rotwell a lot this year. It's that bottom band. There's kind of a grind band, like experimental grind band from Richmond, and I like going to see them whenever they perform. And I was just thinking about that. There's a show on here that I went to with my friend Reese earlier last year too, but I can't remember what show it was honestly. But that was another show at the warehouse. I was going to a lot of shows early in the year last year because I was just it was just something for me to do and like get out of the house and not work, like be in misery. I guess I was just not in a good place this time last year or this year. But this one was kind of interesting. I mean, it was fine. It was just kind of just another show, and I wasn't there with anybody, so I just kind of just didn't really feel that great. But the top band, Dot Gift from God, is kind of like a sister band to the band Listless. That's one of my favorite bands in Richmond. probably my favorite band in Richmond. I have a video I've recorded of them, so if you want to see them perform, I would highly recommend it. It's a few months ago. People don't really watch those videos very much, but it's in there, so you could dig for it. But I remember there was a fight at the show. Somebody got in a fight, like just moshing too hard or something. Somebody got pissed off. That happens occasionally, but this show was just kind of fine. Don't remember it like being that great, but That Gift from God is kind of fun to see, and they actually went on tour. Like they're kind of more well known than Listless and stuff, but and the drummer that's in this band and Listless is also in the band called Ostraka, which is another Richmond band, a screamo band that some people within the screamo scene probably knows who they are, and yeah. The next one I have here, we have a little, like, it was kind of like just like a benefit show for like this mutual aid thing that's in here in town, and I like wanted you to bring some like canned food and stuff, and I brought some canned food to get in, and it was pretty cool. I didn't stay for the whole thing. I just saw like a first few bands or something. I saw Prisoner. I've been wanting to see Terrorcell. Like I still have not seen Terrorcell live. They're like a metalcore band here in Richmond. I think I'm finally gonna be able to see them in early of the new year if I actually stay for the whole show. But I just can't seem to like ever see them, and I always end up leaving the shows. I always go on super late, and I'm just like an old man and get tired and just kind of get over it when the vibe isn't right and people aren't there that I can talk to and stuff. So, but yeah, this was pretty fun. It was an interesting spot I'd never been to. Just like this place down in like downtown, just like this like old like little art gallery or something. It was kind of interesting. So that was kind of cool. This next one here, we see there's the band Prisoner again. I didn't watch them again because I had seen them recently, but the band Voarm was on this one, and Voarm is a cool band. I actually recorded at this performance as well of Voarm performing, and they just have like an interesting just kind of aesthetic to themselves. They like dress up and stuff, but like just like hoods over their faces and stuff, and I thought it was kind of cool. And so if you want to see them perform, I recorded this performance in particular, and I think I probably only watched like the first two bands at this show too, and ended up leaving. I may have watched Neolithic. I can't remember Neolithic or whatever that band is. But I know I didn't stay for Prisoner, and it was like the Prisoner's like release show. Like Prisoner was like had a big thing last year. They're this year that they released a bunch of like they released new music, and people were like excited about them. They're kind of like hardcore mixed with like industrial metal and stuff. So they're an interesting somewhat band, but I don't love them that much. But the next show I have is a free show put on at one of these it's like Garden Grove. It's like a brewery place. I've been there. I went there last year. There's another free show there that I went to last year that was pretty cool. This was just some black metal and death metal bands, and this was pretty exciting. It was cool as I could just go and not have to like I can pay any money to go in, just kind of hang out. I think I don't know if I bought any merch, but I know my good friend was there, and we got to hang out and talk to each other some, and so that was pretty solid show. It was cool to just see some like black and death metal around. It's cool when black and death metal bands come to town. I'm always just like looking more for that stuff. So there's like so much hardcore around here, which is hardcore shows. I like going to them occasionally, but I'm more looking for like the metal and stuff. Then the next one was like the same weekend. It was put on by my friend who does Death Eternal, the record label. And I didn't stay for this whole thing either. I watched like Lair and Blazing Tomb, which is two local bands, and we see there's Maul and Graveson. And I think I didn't stay for the whole thing because I just wasn't feeling it, and it was like a Sunday night, and I was just getting tired and wanted to go home, and still just not having a good weekend to begin with, and so. But it was pretty cool to see those bands play. Lair is a pretty interesting band, and kind of want to check their stuff out again. Honestly, it's been a while since I've really listened to their music. Then this next one, we've got like this whole bitch fest thing that happened, and this was pretty cool. It was 2 days. One day I was at this place called Copacabana that I went to a lot around in the spring. There's a lot of shows happening there. And then the other one was in another round. And I remember going to the one at Cobra, and that was the better of the two, I'd say. There was just a lot of cool bands there. Like Rotwell was there again. And there was just like some cool punk bands to get off was a band I really liked performing that night. And then there's the band Brat, that they're kind of fun, like mixing, like they have like pop samples. They would go in like pop songs and then just go into like death metal and stuff right after the sample would end. It was pretty fun. And my friend Sophie, who does Big Bad Mullet, I endorse her at the end of my videos all the time. She's a great artist, but um, she really liked Brad. She bought like a bunch of merch from them that night. And my friend Cole and Sophie are married, and I just got to hang out with them that night, and it was just really fun. And then I went to the one the next day. My sister actually was in town, and my girlfriend Caitlin, and we just kind of like got into this and just went and saw a little bit of the music on the second day at the other place. And the second day just wasn't as good, but it was still kind of fun to just go and hang out for a bit. It's cool when they do little fests like that in town. It's kind of cool to go and support that stuff. This next one I was really excited about. It was kind of like a last minute thing that just kind of popped up. The record store that I really like here in town, Vinyl Conflict, actually put this show on. And as you can see, this is the show with Questmaster, and this is just like a full out dungeon synth show, and that doesn't happen very often either. But and so I'm excited when stuff like that happens. And then we have all Virginia bands. Questmaster came all over from Australia. I was touring, and he's touring next year too. I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna go see him again. And he's coming to Richmond again next year, so that'll be really cool. I'm excited to see that again. He put on a long set too. It was like over an hour. It was crazy, but the visuals were pretty cool. And but it was just like, it was like a little kind of dragging a little bit towards the end, but it was pretty interesting and fun to see. Then we had Fog Lord, Valistras, and Obsidian, all from Virginia, and really like watching their stuff. It's really, really cool stuff. Just some of my favorite stuff to catch whenever I can when they come in town. Then I think it was like just the next weekend. There's another show at the Copacabana. There's just like so many shows at Copa, like I was saying, in the early spring last year. And this was a pretty cool show. It was a bunch of, these were all local artists, and they're the first three bands you can see here: Backlash, Copperhead, and Division of Mind were all just like hardcore bands. Division of Mind's like a big deal. Like they kind of cross over with that Hard Stripes band I was talking about earlier, and it was always exciting to see them. But then the headliner Nicholas F is actually a hip hop artist that like kind of gets like loves the vibes of like punk and like wants to get that energy at the show. So it was really cool, like a little bit of a mixed bill here, and just it was just a really fun show that I'm happy they put together, and that was a good time. It was pretty crowded that night. There's a lot of people there excited about that. And then later that week, that same week, I was going to a lot of shows at this time. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. I met my friends here at this show, which you can see the Lamp of Murmur, the black metal band from California, was on tour with One of Nine and Ebony Pennant, and it was a pretty cool show. Lamp of Murmur was just like crazy, like just how their musicianship is like incredible. Like they were just like, I can't believe they were just such a small venue. I feel like they could have easily been in a bigger venue, but it was cool to catch them at this small like little bar here in town. And it was a pretty cool show, and I met some of my friends there for that one too, so it was cool to see them. And that's actually when they told me that they got engaged and stuff, so that was pretty cool. I remember that was a cool night, pretty cool show. Once again, I just love when black metal bands come to town. So then, like 2 days after that show, one of my friends again and my girlfriend Caitlin was with us for this show here. The Body came to town, and once again, I'm infamous. I didn't see the Body this night, but I did see all the other bands. I saw Twitch Sequence is like a just kind of like industrial noise, death industrial, electronic kind of thing. So it was just like kind of that like stuff that just like rumbles your whole body kind of thing. And then we had Rotwell again, and Deliriant Nerve, I think is the name of that band, that other band. And then World Peace. World Peace, I remember their set, they're like a power violence band, so their set was like literally like 10 minutes long. But that was another night that somebody got in a fight with another guy because like just didn't understand what moshing was and that you're gonna get hit if you're up near the stage and shit. But um, this was a pretty cool show. It was at the Warehouse again. Warehouse is just a cool place, and it was a pretty fun night. And I think I may have freaked my girlfriend out a little bit with the show. I'm not gonna lie. Then the next one, this one was really exciting. I was like really looking forward to this one. I saw this like announced like months before this, and it was Antichrist Heat Machine had released a new record last year or this year. I keep saying last year, but early this year, and in like May or like at the end of April, I think is when they released it. And then they threw this this record release shows. They're from Richmond, and they just put it on at the Warehouse, and it was just really cool. So we had like Destruct is another hardcore band here, and just like a cool punk band in Richmond, and I really like catching them. And then we had Primitive Warfare, which is a war metal band, goes along a lot with Antichrist Heat Machine. They released a new record around the same time as well, and it was really cool to see them. So I got some cool merch from them. They had like selling grenades and stuff. It was pretty cool, and I got a shirt from them and stuff, and I enjoyed the performance. They were cool to see live. And then there's the band Impure, which is kind of just like this black metal band, black and death metal, I guess I'd call them. I didn't really love them that much, but kind of got through them to see Antichrist Heat Machine, and Antichrist Heat Machine just always puts on such a great show. It's always so fun to see them, and it's always such a great atmosphere in the room when they're playing. They always throw a really good set, and just the music is sick, and it's just so cool to see them live. And it's cool as they're from Richmond, and they just like throw shows here all the time, and it's just really cool to catch them every time they do. Next we have another kind of like more like an electronic show. It's at this place called Hell's Door, which is actually just like this spot under a bridge here in Richmond, and it's a really cool spot. Honestly, it's one of my favorite places to go. It's like outside under a bridge, and it's like there's like this cool I'll probably throw a picture here on the screen of it, of just like this it looks like Hell's Doors. It's just like seeing the bridge supports go on over the river and stuff. It's a cool spot. But this is just kind of like some just like industrial, some noise, just some interesting stuff. And I didn't stay for this one too long. I think it's like saw like Marriage Fatality and then ended up leaving after that. So like the vibes weren't there once again, and like people I wanted to hang out with like ended up leaving or something. It was just like kind of weird. But Flushing Machine is a pretty cool artist here from Richmond that I like to see when they perform. And it's just cool to go to Hell's Door sometimes, and it was cool to like catch that show that night. Then the next show I've got like my first like proper like concert of the year, I guess I went to, and I went with my girlfriend Caitlin. We wanted to go up and see this show with Pixies and Modest Mouse, and she's a big fan of Modest Mouse, one of her favorite bands of all time, and I've been a pretty big fan of Modest Mouse in the past too, and definitely the Pixies. So it's really cool to see the Pixies and Modest Mouse perform. And we went to the Merriweather Post Pavilion, which is in like north of DC, in between DC and Baltimore. And had a good time. Didn't see Cat Power. We got there a little bit later. We just saw Modest Mouse and Pixies, which is fine. That's kind of all I really wanted to see. We were like on the lawn area, just kind of hanging out, but ended up kind of coming to bite us in the ass because like in the middle of Pixie's set, we ended up having to leave because it was just started pouring down raining, and we were just fucked. Like we were just getting soaking wet. And I remember walking back to the car like with no shoes on, just taking the risk of stepping on some like rusty nails or some shit, but I made it fine. And because my shoes were just soaking wet, and I just didn't want to walk in them. So, but it was interesting and kind of fun to. It was definitely a memorable experience. Then back in town, this show was by this band called Restrictor Plate. It was going on tour with like another band here. I forgot what the name of the band was, but Restrictor Plate's just like I talked about them earlier. They're just like a just crazy fucking band. And there's another show that I saw with them that they did this place called the Junkyard earlier this year as well. But I forgot to like look for the flyer for that one. But that was like the last show that happened at the Junkyard. They like shut that like DIY spot down after that show. But they threw like a crazy crazy set that night, and there's like a footage of it online. I might link it in the description actually. So it was pretty wild, just going crazy. But I saw them. It went pretty crazy. This show too. Got punched in the face pretty hard at this show. Being towards like the moshing and stuff. People go crazy over this Restrictor Plate especially. But so this is like the day after my birthday, and I went out to eat with my friend Cole and Sophie again, um, and just for like my birthday, they just wanted to hang out with each other, and they got me gifts, and it was really nice. And then Cole and I decided we wanted to go to this show together and hung out. And it was just fun it's always fun to go to the show with Cole, and we always have a good time just hanging out with each other. So, but this is pretty fun. Definitely a memorable one. Is at Richmond Music Hall, which is downtown here in Richmond, and it's pretty cool venue. Some like bigger-ish bands go there. It's not like as big as like a typical venue, but it's more like a proper venue, I guess I'd say. And then probably one of my favorites of the year here, saw the Foo Fighters with my dad in New York in July, and it was just like that was one of the best trips I've like ever been on in my life, and it was just a very special thing for me, and just very special to just see the Foo Fighters with my dad, because it was just like it's the first time I've ever like it was like one of the first bands I really got into when I was a kid. My dad like introduced me to them when I was really young, and just such a big gateway into me to like getting to like rock and stuff, and it was just a big deal, and just like getting into music in general, I just really love their stuff, and it was just such a good show. We both had such a good time. It was just like it's so cool to like see my dad having a good time, and just him to be appreciating it too. It's just like it just meant so much, and like we just like had a fun time exploring New York, and it was such a great trip, and we both were really excited. The ending of this show was really good. They saved Everlong for the last song, and Everlong's one of my favorite songs of all time, man. I love that song so much, and it was so exciting for that just be there with my dad, and it was just so special to me. And it was really special to him too, which is really really cool. And um, they played Everlong, and then like towards the end of the song, when it like comes back in towards the end of the song, they just like shot off fireworks when it came back in, and it was just like it was so fucking cool. You can actually look up footage online from the night here, like July 19th, New York, Foo Fighters, and you can see the end of it. It was really solid, and it was a really cool time, and it was just such a special thing to me. I just like get this like the warm feeling, just like of excitement about this. It was such a great memory, such a great time, and I just loved it so much. It was so special, and this is definitely the most important like show on this list, and probably even the most important show in the last like maybe ever. Honestly, probably one of my favorites I've ever been to. It's just like how special it was for me. Moving on from there, I've just got a picture of this flyer that was at the at my local record store, Vinyl Conflict. I just saw it in there, so I hadn't seen it online. And this is at a place called Fuzzy Cactus that does a lot of shows. And I went with my friend Cole again, and we had a good time. And it was cool to see some of these bands, kind of some more black metal. We had Unholy Altar that came, and the top band. I don't know if I think I did stay for them, because I remember like they were like out of order. Like Faux Arm played again, the band I was talking about earlier, and but they didn't play until the very end. Like it's like the members were like late or something. But there's a band called Les Morts that's from here, from Virginia at least, and it was just cool. I just wanted to hang out with my friend Cole, and I was doing like I was going on my sticker hunting. I would like go around to all the artists and like try to get some stickers, and I just like stickers a lot of, and so it's fun to just grab a few stickers on there, and they usually give it to me for free. So then the next one was actually the next weekend. I remember that show that I was just talking about the week before was actually like there was like nobody there. It was like really empty. Not many people showed up for that one. But then this one, you can see Antichrist Siege Machine was playing again, and this was put on by my friend Death Eternal once again, and this was a cool show at the Fuzzy Cactus, and it's always, like I said, it's always good to see Antichrist Siege Machine. And you see Funeral Chant was from out of town, and this is just another solid show with some black metal and stuff, more metal, and it was a pretty good show, and had a good time, and yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that one. It was just cool, and I definitely went sticker hunting at that show as well, so that was cool. Then we have JPEG Mafia. I went to see JPEG Mafia again in Norfolk. I caught him in Norfolk in September, and I really like this poster. Actually, got a signed poster at the show, so that was pretty cool. I'm really happy to have that. It's really a neat artifact for me to have, and I love JPEG Mafia. I liked the show that he did the first time I saw him a little bit better, but it's still a solid show. He always puts on a good show, and it was worth it. It was a fun trip to go down there with my girlfriend Caitlin, and just had a good time just being down in Norfolk. She kind of grew up in somewhat around that area and stuff, so it was cool to go down there and explore some stuff and catch JPEG Mafia, and Jane Remover even opened for him, so that was really exciting too. And I saw that was happening. It was like another like moment, like when I saw Idols in 2022 and I found out that Injury Reserve was opening for Idols. I was like, holy shit. And that was kind of like a whole kind of thing with this too. I was like, Jane Remover is opening for JPEG Mafia. That was pretty wild, and that was exciting, and it was pretty good. Didn't really do anything for a little while there, and then we saw it at the end of October. This was a really special show too. This is like the last proper like show I've really seen. I haven't been to anything really since this show. And Pigeon Pit came to town, and I was like so excited to see Pigeon Pit. Like, I couldn't believe they were coming to town. I've been wanting to see them for so long. They mostly stay out on the West Coast, so they're from Washington, but they finally did a little East Coast run, and I was just so excited. I was like, I have to go to the show. And it was like this small little place. Got to meet like the members, and got a shirt and some like some artwork and stuff. It was really cool, and I love their music so much, and I just really like over the spring and summer this past year, I really listened to their stuff a lot and like learning all the words to their music, and I just really loved it. It was a good show, and they just performed so well, and I was just so excited about it. It was just such a good time. And the other artists that were here were pretty fun too, just kind of just like along the same lines to an extent. So just like the kind of folk punk stuff, and it was just really great. I really like that style of music, and it's just like super fun, and it was like super underground and just like a great kind of atmosphere, and it was really cool. And I'd never been to this place called the Crescent Collective either, but it was near like a place I used to live in the city, and so it was pretty cool. And yeah. That was the last show I've been to this year, but I threw in one more here at the end. There's a show happening on New Year's Eve, which is the week after next, and I'm looking forward to this. It's gonna be like my first show back from like a pretty good hiatus, like almost 2 months of not going to anything, and well, it'll be 2 months. It'll be over 2 months since I've been to any shows, and this looks like a really fun, just kind of hardcore show. Just like it'll be a great way to just like end out the year, I feel like, and I just saw what was going on. I was like, oh, this seems like a lot of fun. I don't have any of the other plans that night, so I think Caitlin and I are gonna go see this. And it looks like there's a band from Finland that's gonna be there, which is pretty neat. I love when out of town bands come, especially when they're like from Europe or somewhere else in the world. It's really neat that they come to my little place in this world. It's just kind of neat for me when people come from so far away. But really looking forward to that. I think it's gonna be a really fun show, and just really looking forward to doing that and doing some shows next year. And I just always got music to look forward to, like I said. And yeah, I think that's all I really have to say here in this video. I just wanted to go through all the music. I like going to see live music, but like I said, I do have times where I'm not really feeling it that much, and I'll take a break. But then it helps me appreciate it a lot when I do go back and see it again. So I don't want to burn myself out too much with it, and just sometimes I just don't feel like going out, and I can be a homebody and be stuck inside, and I just like being at home. I just feel safe, and it's just kind of hard to go out in the world sometimes. But Yeah, so let me know what you guys saw this year, and if you saw any live music, let me know what your favorites were that you saw this year. And yeah, I think I'll end out the video now. Just please support my friends here on the side if you can. Links in the description. And thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time.